Before Genesis, the world was ruled by giants. Trees were uprooted and then swallowed by giants. The ground was bruised and moved by giants. Giants that reached great heights. Giants that thrived with marvelous zeal, then fell victim to the inevitable biotic crises. Knowing full well the fate, embracing completely the path, astute students of the role, uncompromising experts of the quest. They were giants with deep respect for their mission. Life was temporary, time was short. Soon the cyclical mass extinction would be upon their giant shoulders. The load will be too heavy and their giant bodies would be lost underneath the rubble. Destruction would consume them and the fumes would blow. These experts would soon come to know that it is time to continue the normal trend, to go around the normal bend, to anticipate another end. From the Triassic to the Jurassic to the Cretaceous, these monsters came and went. These creatures rose and fell. The lords of the ground roared and then silence became them, every time giving way to a new them. But this time, it would be different. She was born in the bowels of space, broke away from her mothership, free to roam the galaxies. Out in the heavens, a piece of hell was born, to shatter and destroy with venom seeping from her thorns. These giants would surely cave underneath her muscle. The gods of the earth would be no match for her force. Her girth would moth them. Her shine would singe them. Her rise would fell them. Her weight would grind them into the earth, and her shadow would block out their suns for millions of years. She was coming, the mother of the Big Bang. No longer would these giants stand. No longer would they own the land. They would come to do battle with hunger, and their flesh would fall away from their bones. Their roars would become moans. Their groans would die slow, as the world would be put to sleep in a cradle of complete darkness. She was coming. She was tumbling. She was traveling through space, a fiery blaze behind her, a world of dinosaurs before her, a belly full of molten lava. Destruction was a passion. She possessed a sincere love for magnificent chaos. The tiny creatures saw her coming. The little monsters heard her terrible roar. The fragile beings braced for their impending doom. Before Genesis, these great monsters were the kings of the world, the rulers of the planet, the giants among giants. Now they were looking up at their great fall and asked, what have they done to deserve this terrible end? Monstrous dinosaurs with vitality in their muscles, the strength of more than 1,000 strong men, bursting with life, looking up at the fall that would end it all. They saw her coming. Before Genesis, all was well. There was no hell. Now they were drowning with the smell of death, waiting for the asteroid to impact their world, to sign off on their fate. Their fall was in its final chapter. The story had climaxed and now it was bound to limp over. Tears filled their eyes and despair took control of their brain. Their muscles became flooded with fear as they looked towards the sky. The sun turned its back as the asteroid began to rise. Above their heads they saw no mercy. Beneath their feet the world shook. In one afternoon the world broke and the sky was gone. Heaven had touched ground and the world was trapped in the hungry jaws of cold darkness. It bit off a huge chunk of the planet and inched its way towards the other half. Then it settled. The sun was gone and so the plant burned for her light. The survivors of the initial impact were smothered with thick fumes, yet they had a short glimpse of death. It was moving quickly in their direction, the unstoppable death. Doom and starvation fought for priority, both lusting for the full attention of the mind. The giants knew full well that to die would be a blessing, to live was the curse, to survive would be unthinkable. Death mysterious, death permanent, death irreversible. First went the light, then went the food. There was nothing in the rest of the world, only carnage and rotting flesh in a blackness that could not turn to light. The world turned in darkness. The little monsters churned in darkness. The waters of the oceans charged towards the lands, and a beast in the midst of black. A wounded world, a forgotten earth, and all was lost.